the Charlotte Hornets. And that means that the #1 pick in the 2023 NBA draft goes to the San Antonio Spurs.
Listen, assuming they keep the pick, the Spurs will have the #1 pick for the third time. The other two players weren't too shabby. That would be Tim Duncan, David Robinson. Both won multiple titles. Both ended up in the Hall of Fame. All right, just like Jay-Z and Kanye, Wendy in Paris. All right, you were with Victor Wembanyama last night. What more can you tell us about this draft lottery and Victor and just the whole scene there in Paris?
Well, first off, the Spurs will be keeping the pick, and they'll be taking Victor Wembanyama. I can assure you of that. I have to say, this was a surreal situation. First off, Victor had a game last night where he had 22 points. His team clinched the #2 seed in the upcoming French League playoffs. Then at 2 a.m., the lottery comes on. We were at Nike headquarters just about maybe a mile from where I'm at now on the Champs-Elysees. That was remarkable. Kylian Mbappe, who's the icon of French sport, is in the room. And we're watching the lottery broadcast, and Woj is going on and on at the start of the broadcast about how he's maybe the best prospect in the history of team sport, according to the people he talked to. He's talking about how within 3 years he could be the best offensive and defensive player in the league. And I'm watching Victor watch that, and he's just kind of like in disbelief. Not everybody in the room spoke English, so not everybody got it, but enough people did. It was just so odd to see that play out. And I have to tell you, as the Spurs won, he became emotional. You saw him, celebrate, but he wiped a tear away a little bit. His mom was right next to him, and there was a lot of different pluses and minuses with all these teams, but they knew San Antonio would be a terrific spot for him. That is the most popular team here in France because of Tony Parker, and it was an incredible moment. And I don't know if it'll be the drafting of another Hall of Famer, but it was amazing at 2:30 in the morning in Paris.
All right, so you just talked about how he had just played a game yesterday before he found out, obviously, he's going to be the projected #1 pick. I think he played a total of 30 games there in France. Considering now he's going to have to play an 82-game schedule, he's thin billed. Will he play all 82, you think, in the NBA?
No, I don't think he'll ever be an 82-game player. Number one, the Spurs lead the league in rest and protection of players. I think he will play significantly fewer than that. But he played every game this year. He played 34 league games. They played some cup games and some other competitions. He played for the French national team. He generally has a record of being healthy. He's never had a serious injury. Of course, that doesn't mean that he won't have. The injury factor is obviously something big. But guys, this player is not like any other player. When you look at his frame, he absolutely will be embarrassed occasionally by somebody who is bigger than him. But I am going to tell you, and you're not going to believe what I'm saying here, but I am going to tell you that Victor Wembanyama can defend the rim and the three-point line at the same time. You don't think it's possible until you see it happen with his length, and those types of plays are going to far outweigh the times when he's physically overwhelmed, and that's the Victor Wembanyama bargain that everybody in this league would sign up for.
I see JJ shaking his head. What about his feet, though? When I think about, you talk about 7'4", 7'5", I think about Yao Ming, I think about Chet Holmgren, I think about Greg Oden. What about his feet?
Absolutely. It's absolutely a concern. There is no doubt that his feet are concerned. And you know who's concerned about him? Victor. And so he spent the last 3 or 4 years using a series of exercises to strengthen his feet to prevent it. Not 100%, of course, but he's done everything that is known in science to keep him safe.
What do you think, JJ, about all this?
Well, first of all, Wendy's giving me major Parisian vibes with the backdrop. I'm such a fan of Paris architecture. Well done, Wendy. Well done. My favorite part of last night, by the way, was Peter J. Holt screaming, "Let's go!" in a dead quiet room full of angry people that they didn't get the #1 pick. I think it's a perfect situation for Wembanyama. There's a good young core there with Sohan, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Trey Jones. They've got a clear track history of player development. We obviously know about Pop. Brett Brown being there now will be a huge boost. And look, I've watched him play. The one thing I'll say is, and Wendy knows this, a lot of times with these European prospects, The club teams don't play them a ton of minutes. There's not high-level production. The one guy I think of is Luka Doncic, who was the guy for Real Madrid. He was used to being the number one option from day one in the NBA. And the fact that Wembanyama got that opportunity this year at his age in a pro league in France, that's going to speak volumes, I think, to his early impact for the San Antonio Spurs.
All right, we'll talk a little bit more about Victor Wembanyama in the next hour, but
hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. And in case anyone was sleeping all day yesterday, you guys missed the news. Victor Wembanyama, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I tried like 5 times right before this. He is pretty much going to the Spurs. And I know what you're thinking. How do you know the Spurs are going to pick him? Well, you have to be a blithering idiot not to think that the Spurs are not going to pick him, because he is a generational talent. He will change the franchise. And the last time the Spurs had a number 1 pick, they picked Tim Duncan, and look how that turned out. So now you're looking at basically the next dynasty, right? If the Spurs can surround him with superstars and stars, well, I can guarantee you one thing: a lot of veterans are probably going to go to the Spurs organization, just because of the fact that Wembanyama will change your franchise. He is very special. Like LeBron James basically said, he's not a unicorn, he's an alien. I don't know, you can't guard this guy. This guy's unbelievable. He plays magnificently. Only downfall is he's super skinny, and you know, I've seen him try to post up, or I've seen him try to guard in the post position, and a couple times he got bully balled. So we'll see what happens on that note. But again, the Spurs are projected to pick number 1 Wembanyama. So congratulations. Anyone that thinks differently, thinks that they're going to pick somebody else, you know, I don't know what the hell you're thinking. But at the end of the day, Spurs organization, they were, I think, pretty much dead last and have not made the playoffs. And now, pretty much, it's just a guarantee that they'll make the playoffs. That's all I'm saying, right? Because Spurs organization, they're pretty good, and at the end of the day, they know how to win. And with Wembanyama, they will win for sure, 100%. So congratulations to the Spurs organization for the number 1. I guess tanking did help them, because they tanked. They know how to tank. They know how to load manage. They know how to do everything like that. So congratulations to Greg Popovich. It was supposed to be his last year coaching, but I highly doubt it now. I don't think he's going to quit anytime soon, because he wants another ring. And with Wembanyama, you know, I can guarantee you they're going to win multiple rings in the future. So leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think about this pick. Yeah, what do you guys think about the Spurs organization being the next dynasty, and who's going to join them? There's a list of free agents that could join the Spurs organization, but at the end of the day, who is going to join the Spurs? Leave a comment in the comment section. As always, this is Jag from Jaggy Sports.